call is being recorded.
Patience on yesterday. We don't have that problem today because I worked on my computer, found out what the problem was. And so we're so glad to be here. This is the Diamond Factory where diamonds are made. Diamond is the highest ranking in our company. And we come together with like-minded individuals to empower, to encourage, to correct, to motivate, to give direction. And we've got so many things. Oh my God. If you were not on the call with our CEO to hear the direction and the things that are coming, that are being a part of our bag, and oh my goodness, so many things. But I woke up this morning hearing something, one thing, and then I had something else I want to share with you. But I do want to share this one thought before I get into what I really want to share today. I was listening to a message, and the first thing the guy said was, where would you be today if you had to, if everything was dependent on what you gave thanks for yesterday? Yeah, just hold on to that for a second. What if everything today depended on what you thanked God for yesterday? Yesterday could have been a bad day, and you're struggling with some stuff and didn't really thank Him. But if everything was dependent on that, we've got to be grateful. But that's not the message I want to share today, because this week I was listening to a speech, and the speaker said, push through because you don't know how far it will take you. Let me say that again. Push through because you don't know how far it will take you. Now, we always hear that word push. We've heard that word push all of our lives. We hear it in songs. We hear the word push. We hear pushing. We hear Push It by Salt and Pepper in 1987. Maybe y'all didn't know that was an accidental hit. It wasn't even intended to be a single. That was an accident. It was added as a last minute on the B side of a single called Tramp, but it became a hit. Then there's a song called Push It to the Limit by Paul Engelman. That was done in the movie Scarface, and it was talking about Tony Montana's rise to fame. And some of the words in that song, he's in that music, it says, going for the back of beyond, nothing gonna stop you. There's nothing that strong, so close now that you're nearly at the brink. So push it. Oh yeah. Welcome to the limit. Take it maybe one step more. The power game's still playing, so you better win it. Push it to the limit with no one left to stand in your way. You might get careless, but you'll never be safe while you're still living. Welcome to the limit. Standing on the razor's edge. Don't look down, just keep your head or you'll be finished. Now, that may not have been a popular song, but that song related to the movie Scarface. And then there's the famous hit released in 1964 by Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions. Okay, old school folk right here. Keep on pushing, which was the civil rights anthem. And it was dealing with resilience and empowerment and hope. And one of the phrases in that song was, now maybe someday I'll reach that higher goal. I know I can make it with just a little bit of soul, because I've got my strength and it don't make sense not to keep on pushing. Now, those are songs that we're familiar with, some of them more than others, that use that word push. But when I heard this speaker say push through, that triggered another thought in my mind. That wasn't just about pushing. He said push through. And so here's what I thought about. The teacher in me began to think about science and what happens when you push on an object. So let me go science with you just for a minute, because when you push on an object, you're applying force to it. And what happens to the object depends on the laws of physics, specifically Newton's laws of motion. So let's talk about this. His first law, inertia. What does that law say? An object will stay at rest or move at a constant speed in a straight line unless acted on by an external force. What does this mean? If the object was stationary, your push overcomes its resistance to motion, causing it to start moving. If it was already moving, your push might change its speed or direction. I hope you can hear this and relate it to your business, right? Because if it's not moving, you push and it causes it to move because of inertia. Number two, Newton's second law, force equals mass times acceleration. So the acceleration or the change in velocity of an object is directly proportional to the force applied. That means we got to do some work, right? And inversely proportional to its mass. What does this mean? If you push harder, the object accelerates more. Heavier objects require more force to accelerate. So I guess it depends on how big our business is in our mind, right? If we got a small business, it don't take much pushing. But if you got a big business, you got to accelerate more. Number three, Newton's third law, action and reaction. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. What does this mean? When you push an object, it pushes back on you with an equal force in the opposite direction. For example, if you push a box forward, the box exerts an equal force backward on you. Friction. If the object is on a surface, then friction opposes your push, which can slow down or resist movement. Anybody got some friction going on in your life, opposing your movement? Anything happening around you, in your home, in your family, in your business, causing friction, trying to slow down or resist movement? How do you overcome the friction? You keep pushing. Even in the air resistance, something can be moving through the air, and there's this thing called drag that resists that motion. So when you push an object, you're transferring energy to it in the form of force, causing it to move, causing it to accelerate or resist based on its mass, friction, or other forces acting on it. So a condensation, listen, regardless of what's around you, what's surrounding you, even regardless of what comes in your own head, because many times the battle is not an external battle. It's an internal battle. It's what our own thoughts are creating. I tell people all the time, stop creating stories. We make up stuff that ain't even happened yet. We make up situations that have not even manifested and may never manifest. But because we think, we got to think through it and push through. That blessed me, because it was not just a matter of pushing, but pushing through it. And then what he said at the end of that, push through it because you don't know how far it will take you. And I went through the science of that, because just think about something you've had to push when you were moving from one house to another house, and maybe you couldn't pick up the box and you had to push the box, or something that you push and it creates the momentum. As a kid, we played kickball, and there's this commercial on television about two cows. I think they're I don't know what the commercial is about. Maybe it's about milk or something. I don't know. But the cow is kicking the ball, and the ball hardly moves because it's a cow kicking the ball. But if I kick the ball, it's going to go further. My husband taught they got him back in the classroom, and he was teaching them about a ruler and yardstick. And the way he taught them was for them to throw a football and see how far they threw it, or to kick a soccer ball and see how far it went. And so they were learning measurements by doing that. So based on the person and their ability to kick, maybe the girl couldn't kick as far as the guy could. It just depended on the strength of the push or the strength of the kick. I am saying to you this morning, your business, your dream, your success is not determined by anybody else but you. It's determined by your ability, number one, as I said, to think past any thought that may come. Scripture says, no weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise up against us in judgment, thou shalt condemn it. Does not say the weapons won't form. It doesn't say that the thoughts won't come. Don't beat yourself because thoughts come, but give yourself pats on the back when you push through those thoughts, when you push through those limitations, when you overcome your own obstacles and enter into the place that you're supposed to be in, because you are ordained. Every person, every single person on this call, you are ordained to be successful. That's the plan. That's God's plan for your life, to prosper. That's God's plan for your life. But it takes pushing through. And the beauty of this all is that when you push through, you and I don't have a clue how far it's going to take us. Man, today is Wednesday. We have our 1 o'clock session. Let me see, where's my brother? Let him share with you what's going to be taking place today, Mr. Diamond Willie Mooney. I've unmuted you, sir, if you're able to tell us what's taking place today. I caught you off guard, I know. Are you there? Or anybody else who attends that session at 1 p.m. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us what's happening in Chi-Town. Anybody?
Hey, Dr. Ross, it's Crystal. I'm not there every Wednesday, but I believe they will definitely be having the blood type campaign, elevation experience, all of that at 1 o'clock. I'm not sure if Minister Mooney is going to have food or not. We can check his page to see, but the presentation will be going on 1 o'clock. Thanks.
Awesome. Listen, y'all been checked. Oh Lord, I've been wishing I was in Chicago. Every time I see him post something, what he's bringing to the table, is like, dang. Okay, but anyway, so listen, let's be a part of that. Get connected. For those of you that may have missed any of the calls recently, the Monday call, the Black Friday reveal that Melissa, our CEO, did. It is in your app. I know some of you in the last week or so had some problems with the app. The app was down for a few days, and it was down for everybody. So it wasn't you. It wasn't a mistake you were making. All you got to do now is go back into your app. You may have to log back in with your email and password. It's back live and in effect. And so all of those previous meetings are on the app, even what our CEO shared with us on this past Monday. And there's actually a new category called Black Friday. So you want to listen to those and keep yourself up to date, and everything will be moving forward. All right. So listen, guys, have a great Akana kind of day, and let's push through. Bye for now.